Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fairy English Podcast. I'm so happy you're here today. Whether you are a beginner, an intermediate learner, or someone who simply wants to improve your English skills, this episode is for you. In today's podcast, we are going to talk about 10 proven tips that can help you learn English faster in 2026. Many people spend years studying English, but still struggle to speak confidently. They memorize grammar rules, learn hundreds of vocabulary words, and complete countless exercises, yet they feel nervous when they have to communicate in real-life situations. The reason is simple. Learning a language is not just about studying. It is about using the language every day in meaningful ways. The good news is that you do not need to be a genius to learn English. You do not need expensive courses, and you do not need to live in an English-speaking country. What you need is the right strategy, consistent practice, and patience. By following the tips in this episode, you can make your learning journey faster, easier, and much more enjoyable. The first tip is to surround yourself with English every single day. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is treating English like a school subject instead of a real language. They study for an hour and then spend the rest of the day using only their native language. As a result, their brain receives very little English input. Instead, try to make English a natural part of your daily routine. Listen to English podcasts while exercising. Watch English videos while relaxing. Read English articles during your free time, and change the language settings on your phone and social media accounts to English. The more English you see and hear, the more familiar it becomes. Think about how children learn their first language. They are surrounded by it every day. They hear it at home, in school, and everywhere around them. While adults learn differently, the principle remains the same. Consistent exposure helps your brain recognize patterns and understand the language naturally. The second tip is to focus heavily on listening. Many learners want to start speaking immediately, but speaking becomes much easier when you have strong listening skills. If you cannot understand what people are saying, it will be difficult to respond confidently. Try listening to English content every day, even if you understand only a small percentage at first. Choose podcasts, YouTube videos, audiobooks, interviews, or movies that match your level. Do not worry if you miss some words. Focus on understanding the main idea. Over time, your brain will become familiar with common expressions, pronunciation patterns, and sentence structures. You will begin to recognize words more quickly and understand spoken English more naturally. The third tip is to learn phrases instead of individual words. Many students create long vocabulary lists and try to memorize hundreds of isolated words. Unfortunately, this method is often ineffective because words are rarely used alone. Native speakers communicate using phrases and expressions. For example, instead of learning the word decision, learn the phrase make a decision. Instead of learning the word advice, learn the phrase give advice. When you learn phrases, you also learn how words work together. This helps you speak more naturally and reduces the need to translate from your native language. The fourth tip is to stop being afraid of mistakes. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles in language learning. Many students know the answer, but stay silent because they are worried about making errors. Remember that mistakes are not signs of failure. They are signs of progress. Every mistake teaches you something new. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. If you wait until your English is perfect before speaking, you may never start. Instead, focus on communication. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is understanding and being understood. The fifth tip is to speak English regularly, even when you are alone. Many learners believe they need a partner before they can practice speaking. While conversation partners are helpful, you can improve your speaking skills by yourself. Describe your daily activities in English. Talk about your plans for the day. Explain what you see around you. Summarize a movie you watched or a book you read. The more you speak, the more comfortable your brain becomes with producing English sentences. You can also record your voice and listen to yourself. This helps you notice pronunciation mistakes and track your progress over time. The sixth tip is to read content that genuinely interests you. Many learners force themselves to read difficult textbooks that they find boring. As a result, they quickly lose motivation. Instead, choose topics you actually enjoy. If you like sports, read sports articles. If you enjoy technology, read technology blogs. If you love stories, read novels and short stories. When you are interested in the content, learning becomes much easier because your attention stays focused. You naturally absorb new vocabulary and grammar without feeling like you are studying. The seventh tip is to keep a simple English journal. Writing helps you organize your thoughts and strengthens your understanding of grammar and vocabulary. You do not need to write long essays. Even a few sentences every day can make a difference. Write about your day, your goals, your experiences, or something interesting that happened. For example, you can write about what you ate, where you went, what you learned, or how you felt. The important thing is consistency. Daily writing gradually improves your confidence and accuracy. The eighth tip is to think in English instead of translating. Many learners translate everything from their native language into English before speaking. This process is slow and often leads to unnatural sentences. Try to think directly in English. Start with simple thoughts. For example, when you wake up, think, "I need to get ready for work," or "Today is going to be a busy day." At first, this may feel difficult, but with practice, your brain will become faster and more comfortable using English naturally. The ninth tip is to use modern technology wisely. In 2026, language learners have access to incredible tools. You can use podcasts, online courses, language exchange platforms, AI tutors, pronunciation apps, and digital flashcards. Technology can provide instant feedback and unlimited opportunities for practice. However, remember that tools are only effective when you use them consistently. The best app in the world cannot help if you rarely practice. Create a daily routine and use technology as a support system rather than a replacement for real learning. The 10th and final tip is to stay consistent and be patient. Many people start learning English with great enthusiasm, but they quit when they do not see immediate results. Language learning is a long-term journey. Progress often happens slowly and gradually. Some days you will feel motivated, while other days you may feel frustrated. This is completely normal. The key is to continue moving forward. Even 15 or 20 minutes of daily practice can produce remarkable results over time. Small efforts repeated consistently are far more powerful than occasional bursts of intense study. Remember that every article you read, every podcast you listen to, every sentence you write, and every conversation you have brings you one step closer to fluency. Learning English faster in 2026 is not about finding a secret shortcut. It is about building smart habits, practicing regularly, and using the language as much as possible. Surround yourself in English, listen actively, speak without fear, learn useful phrases, read interesting content, write regularly, think in English, use technology wisely, and stay consistent. If you follow these proven tips and make English a part of your everyday life, you will be amazed by how much progress you can make. Thank you so much for listening to Fairy English Podcast. I hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring. If you enjoyed this podcast, please don't forget to like, follow, share, and leave a comment. Let me know which tip you found most useful and what topics you would like to hear in future episodes. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. See you in the next episode of Fairy English Podcast.